You ever feel it? That constant low-grade buzz of anxiety? That feeling that you're always plugged in but never really there? Like you're just running on this hamster wheel of notifications and deadlines and goals, but you never actually arrive anywhere peaceful? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's kind of the background noise of modern life. So let's just start with the most obvious culprit, right? Our phones. Stanford addiction specialist Anna Lemke, well, she doesn't pull any punches. She calls the smartphone the hypodermic needle for a wired generation. See, our relationship with these devices, it's often not just a bad habit. It's an actual addiction, and it's engineered to keep us coming back for just one more little hit of dopamine. And this image, yeah, it kind of says it all, doesn't it? We get tangled up, just falling into this little black mirror in our hands, always chasing that next notification, that next like, that fleeting sense of, I don't know, connection. But it never really fills us up. It just leaves us feeling more drained than when we started. But, it's not just our phones. The problem goes way deeper. We've kind of adopted this keeping score mentality for life itself. An economist named Joseph Schumpeter wrote about how we chase money and accomplishments not for what they are, but as an index of success, a symptom of victory. It's like we're playing a game we can never really win. But here's the thing. All this frantic chasing on the outside, it's often just a cover. It's a way for us to avoid dealing with our own unruly inner world. And this is a really crucial insight from a lot of psychological research. That relentless drive to just work, that workaholism that our culture sometimes celebrates as ambition, so often it's not about success at all. It's a coping mechanism. It's an attempt to just outrun or numb those really uncomfortable feelings of anxiety and depression. And if you think this inner chaos is some new 21st century problem, well, just listen to this description of anger. It sounds intense, right? The blazing eyes, the quivering lips, the hissing breath. That wasn't written last week. It's from the Roman philosopher Seneca, almost 2,000 years ago. The tech has changed for sure, but the raw, chaotic emotions inside of us, they are exactly the same. Which, it raises a really powerful question. If the problem is ancient, could the solution be ancient too? This idea points us toward a totally different kind of fix, wisdom from the ancients. This gets to the absolute heart of it. What if we've been trying to solve these timeless human struggles with all the wrong tools? What if our modern anxieties aren't new at all, but just ancient problems wearing a new disguise? And it's not some fringe idea. Modern thinkers, like Arthur Brooks here, are making this exact point. They're realizing that our modern approach to happiness, chasing pleasure, avoiding pain, racking up successes, it's just fundamentally broken. We need a better framework. And it turns out one has been sitting there waiting for us this whole time. The original guides were these guys, thinkers from ancient Greece and Rome. And they weren't just thinking abstract thoughts. They were like practical psychologists. They were wrestling with the exact same questions about anxiety and purpose and distraction that we are, and they created what is essentially a user's manual for the human mind. So what does this manual actually say? How can their insights help us deal with our crazy world? Well, let's take a look at their blueprint for tranquility. Okay, so Aristotle kicks things off by totally flipping our idea of happiness on its head. He called it eudaimonia, and it is not a good feeling you chase. And it's not some destination you finally get to. He said it's an activity. It's about human flourishing that comes from living a life of purpose and virtue and excellence in your actions. It's all about what you do, not about what you have. Then you get the Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, and they built on this idea, creating this incredible contrast with how we usually think today. So on one side, you have the world's view. Happiness is all about externals, money, status, pleasure. You are what you have, and you should avoid pain at all costs. But the Stoics' view flips the script entirely. They say happiness comes from your internal world, your virtue, your reason, your self-control. You aren't what you have. You are how you choose to respond. And challenges? Oh, you don't run from them. You use them as a chance to practice being a better person.
So, how does this actually help with our modern anxiety? Well, the Stoics offered a super clear 3-step process. First, figure out what you can control and what you can't. That flood of emails, can't control it. Your reaction to it, 100% within your power. Second, and this is huge, remember that it's not events that cause you pain, but your judgment about them. Your post didn't get enough likes. The lack of likes isn't the problem. It's the judgment that your self-worth is tied to it that causes the sting. And third, you reframe every single obstacle as an opportunity. Total game changer. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, literally the most powerful man in the world at the time, he captured this internal focus perfectly in his private journal. He reminds us that peace and strength aren't things you find out there somewhere. They're an inner wellspring, a fountain of good that can never ever run dry, as long as you just keep digging.
So, when you put it all together, this isn't just a collection of cool old ideas. It's a profound challenge to our entire modern way of life. It's a call to action. It's a call for living an examined life.
And maybe nobody embodied this better than Socrates. He actually described his whole purpose as being a gadfly. You know, that annoying fly that stings a horse to wake it up. He saw his job as waking people up from their lazy, unthinking lives. He just pushed everyone he met to constantly examine their own beliefs and their own actions, all in the pursuit of virtue.
So, here we are. The ancients didn't just diagnose the problem of human anxiety, they actually left us a map. It's a path away from that chaotic chase for things outside of us and toward an inner, unshakable peace. The only question left is the one for us. Are we brave enough to actually follow it?